What is up, everybody? Today, I'm going to be bringing you guys my unpopular opinion of what's probably going to be revealed in the Pokemon Presents tomorrow, and why you probably won't see me doing any sort of reaction, video going over all the info. Honestly, that sort of stuff just does not interest me that much. I know we're probably going to be getting info on the new Legends ZA game. We might be getting some new info on Pokemon Champions. I'm sure they're going to be talking about Worlds coming up in Anaheim next month. We're obviously going to be getting news for Pokemon Unite, Pokemon TCG Pocket, a bunch of stuff like that. Maybe Pokemon Masters EX might get something. But honestly, I just really don't watch a lot of these Pokemon Presents, or I'm not really caught up with the leaks. And that's not to say that I'm someone that wants my gameplay to be pure. I don't want spoilers. I'm not like that either. I just really only enjoy Pokemon when I can get everything that I want out of it. And I don't really like those opinions on something to be influenced by outside factors. We've been doing a bunch of stuff on YouTube recently this summer where we go back and play other formats and old games, on my singles channel, which we're going to be uploading this to right here. We've been playing a bunch of different stuff. We've been going back and taking a look at Gen 5 battles. We've been taking a look at Gen 4 Let's Go, stuff like that. In my VGC channel, we're doing the master class where we go over and use a bunch of different anti-meta Pokemon. Every single Friday we use stuff like Poochyena, Spoink, and Surskit and other stuff like that. I feel that Pokemon is such a broad and diverse game, and that you can honestly do whatever you want. If you don't like VGC, you can play singles. If you don't like singles, are you sure? There's 40 different singles formats. You can play Battle Stadium, OU, Ubers, UU, random battles. There's so many ways to play the game, and I don't feel that drive to have a new thing every single month. I really feel that I could honestly sit on Scarlet and Violet for 6 more years and still find daily things to do that interest me. And guess what? Even if I can't find daily stuff to do that interests me, I can just go back and play old formats. I can play Gen 4 OU. I can play BDSP. I can do a Nuzlocke. There are so many things with Pokemon that I feel this constant having to be excited about the new thing. For me, having new things come out, that just means there's that's more stuff that I personally have to learn to make content on it for people that want to watch it. Everyone wants to know content creators' opinion, and they want to see what you think of this new thing, and that's totally normal. I guess what I'm trying to say is I like learning those things at my leisure. I like being excited to learn them. I don't like being forced to learn them because they have to come out every 2 months. That's why you don't really see me ever do reaction videos, because my opinion is kind of just oh my gosh, this looks like a lot of work, because for me, the way my brain works at least, I feel if I'm going to teach someone how to do something, if I'm going to make a product or a piece of content that's worth watching to a viewer, I probably should know what I'm talking about, which means I have to know all the moves, all the stats, all the EVs, every single thing, where they go, why they're going there, so I can actually give you guys something that's worth watching. And I feel where we are at the end of Scarlet and Violet, I really feel I have something like that. I really feel I can make fun and creative teams that get you guys to play the game in a really fun and creative way. And that's my favorite part about making Pokemon content. But this whole having to do the next big thing and make it bigger and better and be better than everyone else, and it's no, that's cringe to me. I don't like it. I'm not I don't know how to explain my thought process on this stuff, but it's really hard for me to find the motivation to do the things that I really want when every single person is just, piranhas, biting at the new thing that's going to be coming out. I don't know what about it makes me feel weird. Maybe you guys can let me know in the comments. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree. I'm pretty sure, like I said, this is a very unpopular opinion, but I'm not really excited for any of the news. Obviously, we're probably going to get remakes on the Switch 2 sometime over the next year or so for the Gen 5 games. I think it would be cool, personally, if they re-released Gen 1 as a a GBA thing on the Switch 2. I'd be down for something like that. I'd like to replay Gen 1. That'd be a lot of fun. But yeah, all this new stuff, all this new info, being forced to play the game in a specific way, when like the company chooses that they want to charge us money to do it is not something I ever get excited about. We have really cool formats. We have really cool ways to play for free on Pokemon Showdown, and like Pokemon Champions, which is pretty much just Nintendo coming in here and saying like, all right, you're going to play the game this way. You're going to pay us some money to do it, and like you're going to like it. Like I don't like that. Like we literally have everything we want right now. And it gets like this at the end of every single gen. Like they do something to just like have a little bit more control of the way we play the game, and I just don't like that. I feel like we're losing a little bit of that grassroots energy that kind of makes our game fun. Think about this. Like 10 years ago, you used to just be able to play like 6v6 battles, 60-minute timer in like Gen 6 and stuff like that. You could just like go play in like Link Battle mode. You just add someone and just play games. It was great, right? You could just play like random 6v6 games. It was awesome. And now you have to like, we had to bite tooth and nail to get like, what is it, like a tournament mode built into the game over the course of like 6 or 7 years, that like if you added someone and they did everything correctly and you had the tournament active for like a couple hours like a day before, you could kind of play a game of 6v6 on the Scarlet and Violet system. I was like, that's so stupid, right? It's stuff like that, like being like losing access to stuff we already had before, paying more money to do it, and then saying thank you. I don't like that. Like, I never get excited for these Pokemon Presents because it's like, what way are they coming up with to nickel and dime us that they didn't have before? I think that I'm very much so in the wrong in that opinion, but please let me know if you agree or disagree. I feel like I can't be the only one that's like that, which is why I'm making this video, which is why I'm making it on the side channel. I probably won't be doing any sort of like reaction or whatever, but if you guys want to talk to me live on stream, we will be doing a stream in the afternoon of the Tuesday that it comes out, doing just our regular VGC Masterclass. I think one thing that is also hard for me to talk about and is important regarding this topic is like, I'm someone that really plans out my stream schedules and my videos like very, very far in advance for the most part. So like when Pokemon comes out and they're like, hey, we have a Presents next week, everyone's going to want to be leading up to that event talking about the announcement, and then the day of the event everyone's going to be talking about it, like the next day everyone's going to be talking about it, and it really makes it hard to create like a show or like a certain atmosphere because every single person's only going to want to talk about that. And I think most content creators will be like, yes, that gives some people stuff to talk about, but like I'm already doing something that I think like that's fun for me, right? I'm already doing something where like I had to plan like this out well in advance to create like a cool team with a cool way that shows people how to play the game. And I know that people like that sort of stuff. And I understand people are excited to talk about new things. It's just that it's not something that inherently interests me. Again, like I don't see like a new Presents as something like, oh boy. I'm kind of just like, oh boy, here we go. Maybe I'm just old, but at the end of the day, it's just something that it makes me feel like I lose control of the type of content that I create. It happens all the time in VGC too. Like I'll create like a week and a half worth of like VGC content prepped for YouTube, and then they'll just like silently drop like a next format rules that like bricks all that content, because who would watch an older forms or older content, older regulations content on YouTube when like everyone else on YouTube is making a specific type of content? Like having to make a specific type of content just because like Nintendo changes the rules and gives us a week notice is never something I'm like excited to do. And so that's one of the reasons why you see me with the type of content that I make. It's not really something that's like tied to a lot of like the VGC community or like even the Smogon community. I really like to run my stuff the way that is fun for me, that where when those sort of rule changes and other things happen and like, other stuff happens that like bricks most other YouTubers' content, it doesn't brick mine, because we're built on a community that all likes to play the game the way that we like to play it. I think that there's always something of value to find in these older formats. There's always something fun that you could be doing. There's always something to learn from playing older formats. And so, I don't know, this was just a really long rant, but I just wanted to give my unpopular opinion on what I think will be in the Pokemon Presents. Obviously, everyone's going to have a good time. I'm sure I'll get around to watching it. They're probably going to give us some new megas, but it's just, I wish I could be excited. That's all I'm saying. I've been let down too many times. That meme from The Incredibles, like, I'm not strong enough, man. that being said, if you guys are excited, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your opinion on my opinion and what you think is going to be in the Pokemon Presents tomorrow. Guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. And if you like any of this other stuff that we've been showing off over here, think about dropping a sub on the channel. Like, honestly, I'm planning on making a bunch of really cool content for the singles channel over the next, month or so leading up to the World Championships. I got second at the event at Worlds last year for the singles side event, and I think I'm going to try and get first this year. So I might go into a little bit of a training arc for that. But man, Pokemon's such a fun game. There's so much fun stuff to do, and we're going to explore that while we can before any new games come out. So thank you guys so much for watching. Peace, and I'll see you guys next time.